and welcome to another edition of STL Presents. I am Rob Desir, and this is the lovely Aprille Trupiano and her Kool-Aid smile, as we always get to see each and every week. Look at that. She's laughing. I like to make her laugh.
I mean, you have so many one-liners. How can you not laugh?
That's what I do. We are here in the kitchen where we like to always start off our show because that means we got somebody cooking up something scrum-delicious. And we got from Aren't You Hungry, Chef E. What's up, Chef?
What's going on, Rod? Good to be here. Thank you. She does have a Kool-Aid smile.
Yes, she does. That's that red Kool-Aid. That's why she wore the red. That's what it is.
I was just about to say that.
What you got cooking for us?
I'm gonna start us off with a little healthy breakfast here, you know, and some hash browns and some bacon and some spinach and some homemade caramel croissants, and we're just gonna do it up.
Oh, man.
Have it your way.
Oh.
It smells good and it looks good. I can't wait to dig in.
I was gonna call it smell-o-vision, but we're gonna call it tasty vision.
There you go.
You came up with that one, so yeah.
Yeah,
we got Chef E, and who else we got, Aprille?
Oh my gosh, we have Reagan from the Muni.
She's excited.
I am excited because we have some really great news. You guys wait till you hear this. And then we also have Dr. Kenneth Poole from Mercy Clinic. We have Brent Shulman from the St. Louis Sports Commission, and we're gonna hear from Joe Edwards, the Loop Man.
The Loop Man, community developer in the Loop, got some exciting big project coming up in the Loop, and we'll hear that shortly. So make sure you sit back, relax, and join us here for the next hour. This is STL Presents. Enjoy. Hello again, this is St. Louis Presents. I am Rob Desir, and this is Aprille Trupiano, and summer is, I guess we can officially say now, Aprille is here. Summer's here.
Summer's here.
You excited?
I am very excited.
Yeah, you got some summer plans?
Actually, I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Traveling, of course.
Yes, travel.
Where are you going?
Travel. I am headed out to Cali, and I am also headed to, actually, I have 2 trips to Cali planned, one to San Diego and one to LA.
Oh.
And then I'm hoping to squeeze in a trip to Capo Rizzuto, which is at the bottom
of it. Say it again.
Capo Rizzuto. It's at the bottom of Italy, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
See, when you say that, why don't you say I'm going to Italy? No, you want to make it all, all special, like you're going somewhere special.
I like to be accurate.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm going to North County. No, I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I kind of live outside of North County, so yeah, I can say I do that all the time. So, but anyway, as I digress, so we got a lot of things going on here. If you don't, you don't have to go to Capo Rizzuto.
Perfect.
Boom, there you go. You don't have to go there. You can stay here because there's a lot of events going on right here in the St. Louis area. Officially, Shakespeare in the Park kicks off now.
Shakespeare in the Park.
Shakespeare in the Park. So there's you can go see that. I know one of the shows. Aren't they doing an
Othello?
Othello.
Othello is coming.
Have you ever seen Othello?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I saw the movie.
You saw the movie?
I did. Yeah.
Not the high school version movie, the one the HBO remake when they're playing basketball and that one. You said you actually saw the Shakespeare version.
I actually saw the Shakespeare version.
Okay, cool.
It was actually hot.
Yeah,
it was good.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Now over at the Botanical Gardens, the Lantern Festival kicks off, so that should be something interesting.
Yeah, that goes until August. What I'm really excited about is the free concerts in St. Louis Zoo. Friday nights through August, it's Jungle Boogie.
Say that again.
Jungle Boogie.
You ever boogie?
I boogie.
In the jungle?
Not in the jungle.
I couldn't resist that.
In the backyard.
Hey.
Hey. Starts with a B.
Okay. Backyard.
Backyard
jungle.
boogie.
Hey, April's down to boogie. All right. And also something interesting that's happening in the Loop is the, they're getting ready to start a trolley system, and the man who is in charge of all of that is city developer Joe Edwards. Yeah. And so we had the opportunity to talk with Joe Edwards about the start of this trolley system, and here he is talking about this. It's very interesting.
Let's hear from Joe.
Clang, 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 went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Zing, zing, zing went my heartstrings.
St. Louis, over a century ago, started a trolley system. It became one of the best in the country. We had a wonderful grid where you could get any place in the city without having an automobile. And by 1966, the last trolley car ran, and that was the end of it. A lot of factors conspired, I think, to have that end happen, whether it's tire companies, oil companies, bus manufacturers, and other economic causes. But they're starting to come back in other cities around the country and around the world. And in 1997, there was a neighborhood charrette, a get-together of architects and neighborhood planners, and to see what can happen. How can we extend the vitality of the loop into the city of St. Louis on Delmar between Skinker and Goodfellow? And I went to that meeting and I sat there for about an hour and a half, and people were saying, well, we could have flower planters or put street banners up. And those were nice ideas, but that wouldn't have brought the investment in the area to build new buildings and rehab the old ones. And it hit me after about an hour and a half that we should bring back the trolley. The area built up around a streetcar system. That's what made it great in the 1930s, in particular, when it really reached its zenith, and bring it back again. And that would spur economic development. It would spur tourism and help stabilize the neighborhood and just improve the quality of life for everyone that lived in the neighborhood. To get momentum behind the project and to raise money, it's a slow process, obviously, but a grant became available, a $600,000 grant. If we raised $150,000, that we would get a $450,000 grant. And to buy a trolley to put on display, to let people know what they would be like, what they could look like again. And we were able to buy 2 trolleys with that money. One is on display at the Missouri History Museum on the Lindell side, and the other in the Loop right in front of Commerce Bank. That led to another potential grant of $1,200,000 if we raised $300,000. And with 11 days left for the deadline, we raised the $300,000 and got that $1.5 million grant. So we did design and engineering and got it to the 30% level, which put us in good stead when all of a sudden, out of stimulus fund money, a program was instituted a few years ago by the federal government, the Federal Transit Administration, and they gave out Urban Circulator Fund grants. 65 cities applied for those grants, and only 5 received them, and St. Louis was one of them. And it was so exciting because we actually beat out a lot of other cities, including Washington, D.C. Yeah, I brought along a car that is how the trolley could look. This is what one of the vintage trolley cars could look like that will be on the route. They were made in the 1920s and all the way through the 1940s, and that's that clang, clang, clang went the trolley and all from the Judy Garland movie. The groundbreaking, we're hoping, will take place this winter, this late fall in 2012, and the trolley could be up and running in late 2013 or early 2014, depending on the winter weather that particular season. I can't wait till that day first trolley runs. I think all St. Louis will be pretty excited.
So that actually looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of exciting if it comes, when it comes. I think when it comes.
I know. I think it'd be really great. I think, have you been to like San Francisco where they have a trolley?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that ding, ding, ding goes the trolley. He loves it when I sing. Clang, clang, clang goes the bell.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's interesting.
But I hear there's a little controversy on the street about it. People are saying it's going to make too much noise. It's going to bring too many people, which actually is what we want in the Loop, right?
Well, you can't please you obviously can't please everybody, no matter what subject you're talking about, what situation. There's always going to be some folks who aren't happy with the fact that something is coming to the city, and whether for good or bad reasons, they come up with something. They hate sometimes. Some people just hate. But no, seriously, it's true. It's true. So what we did was we went to the Loop area. We wanted to talk to some people to get their thoughts on it, whether they do like the fact that a trolley is coming or they don't. So take a listen.
I think there's going to be pros and cons. The con is going to be initially for the construction, but I think once it's built, I think it will help sort of cement the area as a national sort of tourist destination. And I think there's a lot of benefit for the area because now you've got the Metrolink that runs from the airport into the loop. You've got a hotel in the loop, and now you've got a trolley that takes people from the hotel to Forest Park. So you've kind of got a tourist destination where you don't need a car.
We just parked all the way down the end of the street and walked all the way back down here. So I mean, I think we'd use it. I think it would get used.
I think it'd be pretty good for the area. It will definitely bring more people out here, knowing that there's a trolley coming through, you know. And I'm really all for having more people in the loop.
It's kind of a flashback to old days. My mom used to always tell me how the loop had the trolley when she was a kid, and it'll be cool to be old-timey like that. It seems a little redundant with the MetroLink, but I'm for anything public transportation, anything that helps St. Louis get more public transportation, I'm for.
I think it's a good idea. I think we need to begin to think about ways of transporting more people with less expenditure of energy and goods.
I have small children, and you know, a nice little getaway without spending too much money on the weekends. You know, bring them over to the loop. We can have ice cream, take them on the trolley.
So for the most part, we've got some pretty good reviews about the trolley coming to the area. So, you know, I mean, a lot of people are more excited about it than they aren't excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, the sooner it comes, the better.
All right, we are going to take a quick break, and when we get back, you don't want to miss this. We have the Denny Reagan from the Muni, and he has some really great surprises to share with us. I'm so excited.
Yes, you are.
We'll be right back with more of St. Louis Presents. I'm your host, Aprille Trupiano, and my co-host, Rob Desir.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
A lot of people say government is too messy. Half the people say something's a good idea, and the other half say, well, it's a bad idea. All we hear about is a disagreement, the bickering, the compromises, which can leave a bad taste in our mouths. No wonder so many people are cynical, thinking that nothing good can get done. Actually, messy can be good, like my ice cream sundae. Let's think of our democracy that way. You've got all these different choices, lots of flavors blending together. Then, the only thing you have to worry about is that it gets a little sticky. Am I missing something?
Learn about what you can do to make American democracy stronger by logging on to www.representativedemocracy.org.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back to St. Louis Presents. We are here with the Denny Reagan from the Muni. Welcome.
The Denny
Well,
Reagan.
it's so good to be here. Summer's upon us, isn't it?
How about that?
Yeah.
Big title. The
The
one and only.
I've never been called the, but I gotta correct you on something. You were talking, you know, clang, clang, clang goes the trolley. That's actually from Meet Me in St. Louis, which is a great musical.
Well,
But that's
see,
okay.
But it's perfect because the trolley is coming to St. Louis.
The trolley is coming to
It's
St. Louis,
perfect.
and that was a fine audition, I might add. So you may get a call.
Yeah, call her agent, right? Exactly. Well, you got some big things going on this year at the Muni. So tell us the new and exciting things that are happening over there.
You know what's really exciting is we have a new producer this year, Mike Isaacson. Paul Blake was at our place for 22 years as a producer. Mike's coming in. He's produced shows on Broadway. He's won 4 Tony Awards, I think it is, at this point. So we've got a great season. planned for everybody is St. Louis. Do you mind if I go down the list pretty
What-
quickly? We'll talk about them a little bit.
What's the first big show that you got?
First show, and we open actually 3 weeks from Monday. So on June 18th, we open with Thoroughly Modern Millie. And the Muni got away a little bit from stars in shows, but Leslie Uggams is going to be recreating her role for Broadway in that show. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Next show we're going to be doing in Chicago, and this is a show that has all kinds of razzle-dazzle and a lot of great choreography. The orchestra's actually going to be on stage. That's going to be a lot of fun. Aladdin comes in next. That's our children's show. And this is, every year we try to do a children's show. We do a children's show. Last year was Little Mermaid. This year Aladdin. It's going to be running for 9 performances. So that'll be July 5th through the 13th. And then we're going to have Dreamgirls. That comes up next. And of course, we were talking a little bit about it off the air.
Yes.
And of course, the big news
Now
there.
now say this.
There it comes.
Let
There it comes.
everybody
Rob,
know.
you want it?
No, you got it. You got it. Because only you can do it justice. But let them know.
The wonderful thing is that Jennifer Holliday is going to be recreating the role that she did on Broadway when the show first opened. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. And if anybody saw American Idol Wednesday night, she actually sang the Act 2 finale, the big song in that show with Miss Sanchez on American Idol. So it was absolutely wonderful. So that is huge news that Jennifer Holliday's coming.
That's
back.
amazing.
That's just huge.
We were talking about her, before we met you in the green room. In the green room, and she loves Jennifer Holliday. We all love Jennifer Holliday. She says she tears up every time.
I do. I cannot watch the video, watch that woman sing that song without getting tears in my eyes. I get goosebumps. I mean, really, no one does it like her.
So
no
much
one.
emotion in that song, and she has said that this might be the last time she does the role. So make sure you come out and see that one. That's going to be great. I'll be looking forward to seeing both of you there.
That's from July 16th through the
July 16 to 22. Very good, Rob. Yeah.
Hey, I pay
You're on it.
attention. Hey,
You're on it.
that's what I'm here for.
And then we have Justin Guarini playing Joseph in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And if you don't know who Justin Guarini is, he was actually the runner-up to Kelly Clarkson in the first American Idol. So the guy's got some real talent. Then we're going to do Pirates, and it's Gilbert and Sullivan Plundered. And this is kind of a remake because this was an old operetta by Gilbert and Sullivan that was done way back when. So this has kind of got the Caribbean twist to it, so that you get a kind of a little bit of that Pirates of the Caribbean type thing in there. So some great music and great songs in that. And then we're going to finish the season August 6th through 12th with the amazing King and I. Of course, Rodgers and Hammerstein show that has such an incredible score.
Shall we dance?
Shall we dance? Dun, dun, dun. See, I can sing too. No, I can't sing, but
do you want to dance?
attempt. No, I cannot dance.
Here's a question I have for you. How do you guys decide what shows come in and year out?
That's a great question. And what we actually survey our audience. So these shows are picked by the St. Louis audience. The people who come to the Muni, we send out a survey to our audience members, actually the nights of the show. They fill them out, and then we take a look. And then, of course, we have to do a little jockeying because we want to make sure we get a classic in there, some newer shows, get the children's show, and maybe some, and of course, something for the teens. So it's a mixture we put together. But when you take a look at the season this year, what we have out of those 7 shows, every one of them but one was in the top 10. On the survey. Wow. So we really do pay attention to those surveys. It's important.
And that's probably what draws them in year after year after year after year, just serving up what they ask for.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting, but if you ask people what they want and then you give it to them, it kind of works.
They show up.
It kind of works.
If I had to ask you real quick, what do you anticipate being the hottest ticket of all these shows? Which one would you say it would be?
Well, let's throw Aladdin out of the mix because the children's show is always just a huge ticket. So let's take that out of the mix. You know, and after that, I would go Dreamgirls, Chicago, somewhere around there. I think it's going to be good. And don't forget, this year, you may have heard, you may not, we have this giant scenery wall that we're putting in this year. So the Muni's going to have a little bit different look. It's not going to be a huge
What can they expect to see in the scenery wall?
You know, anything, because what this thing is over 600,000 LEDs, and they tell us we can get a variation of like 8 trillion different variations of lighting effects. So during Chicago, for example, we're going to use it to flash headlines because the show is about what's happening in Chicago in that area. So it's not going to be a huge change. Don't anybody think it's going to be we're getting rid of all the painted scenery, because that's not going to happen. Traditionally, the Muni will be what the Muni is. Great singing, great dancing.
But it sounds like it's like a huge, ginormous light bright.
Yeah, but don't go there, April, because you're right. That's what it is. But you can tone it down to a way where it really is scenery.
In a good way.
In a really good. That's exactly what it is.
I really, because it's going to enrich the scenery. It's going to enrich
That's
everything that you guys are doing, bringing technology to it, but not overwhelming the grassroots of the community.
Keeping the future with the present and the past.
You're right, Rob. That's exactly right.
So how can people go to your website and get the number for tickets? Tell us about that.
Muni.org. Go there. You can learn anything you want about the Muni. If you want to order season tickets, you can do that right now at 314-361-1900. And single tickets, get in line, go on sale June 2nd. So that'll be the first day of single ticket sales, so you can get over there in line and get your tickets then. Get them online. There's a lot of different ways.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming by.
Nah, guys, this was fun. Thank you guys very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. This is Denny Reagan from the Muni, and make sure you get those tickets and go see whatever show you want to see, because there's plenty of shows. Appreciate it. Stay with us. There's more St. Louis Presents. After the break, we're going to be joined by Dr. Kenneth Poole to talk about allergy season.
Advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
I love your show. I think it's a lot of fun. I love the show. I watch the show every night. You have great guests on there. I enjoy watching the best of the STL.
I love the show, and I love to watch it all the time. Thank you very much.
I just recently started watching the program, and so far I have really enjoyed it. It's wonderful what you do with the kids or anything, and putting St. Louis on the map. Hi, I really like your show. Hi, I love your show. I watch it every day, every time you come on. I love your show.
We may get to enjoy retirement, but our old cell phones shouldn't. Recycle them. It's easy, it's free, and it's good for the environment. Hi, this is Richard Garn. Please answer the call to recycle.
There's a monster in my bed.
Even innocent things can trigger an asthma attack. Learn more at noattacks.org.
Please make the monsters go away.
Yo, what up? It's your man Nelly, and you watch STL-TV. Experience the Lou all day.
Welcome back to St. Louis Presents. I'm one of your co-hosts, Aprille Trupiano, and I'm here with Dr. Kenneth Poole from Mercy Clinic.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, it's really getting hot. Like all of a sudden, bam, just hot. And people are dealing with allergies and dealing with, what did you call it? The terrible.
It's like a triad.
There you go. Terrible triad.
Right. Specifically talking about asthma, allergies, and then also eczema. And, we talk about allergy season, but in St. Louis, it's allergy season almost like 9 months a year. Things are probably a little bit worse, I would say, from early spring, kind of stretching on through the summer, and then on into fall, things pick up again. So it's an important time of year for people to take the proper precautions and do the things that they're supposed to do in order to minimize symptoms.
What are some of those things they need to do? Because personally, I'm a sufferer of these allergies. We were talking about that in the green room. I'm just scratching and itching, and my nose is driving me crazy. So
right. So the thing about allergies, speaking on that first, is that I found that a lot of people are not properly treated for allergies. And what I mean by that is this. Most of the time people treat themselves for allergy symptoms, meaning things like sneezing, congestion, itchy eyes, watery eyes, by just going to the drugstore, getting an antihistamine like Benadryl after they've already suffered for a day or two. Then they take that, it lasts for a few hours, enough to put them to sleep, and then they do the whole thing over and over and over again. You do have some people that do some of the longer acting antihistamines, things like Claritin or Allegra or Zyrtec or even the generic stuff, all of which is over the counter nowadays, that, you know, are a little bit more proactive, but even those patients I find a lot of times are undertreated. And it's interesting, a few years ago, studies started emerging saying that the first line therapy for allergies, meaning seasonal allergies, is actually nasal corticosteroids. So inhaled steroids are actually better for just global allergy symptoms than antihistamines. But most patients don't know that. Most people walking around don't know that. And so they're not taking this type of medicine to prevent their symptoms or to alleviate their symptoms.
Well, because most people figure that's just for asthma.
Exactly.
If I don't have asthma, I don't need the inhaler.
Right, but see, but this is an inhaler for the nose.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And it's extremely important because and the reason I know is because I too have allergies. I have horrible allergies. And just kind of interesting case study on myself was I grew up here in St. Louis. I had horrible allergies growing up, and then I moved away from here for about 10 years. Didn't have a lot of allergy symptoms in other cities in which I lived. Came back and was miserable the first spring. Actually moved back here in May. And was miserable the first spring that I was here, and, you know, tried different allergy medicines, over-the-counter stuff, some prescription, antihistamine. And actually, while I was a resident, you know, doing my medical training, came across an inhaled steroid or inhaled nasal steroid, and it worked phenomenal. And you know, now I'm able to tell patients that it's not just something that I read in a book; it's something I've tried myself, and it helps me out a lot. Yeah.
Well, and so how does eczema play a part in this? And
Sure.
if you would, tell us also, how do we avoid some of this stuff? Because everybody wants to get outside.
Right,
So-
right. So, you know, when you kind of go to the root of things, go to the root of asthma symptoms, the root of allergy symptoms, the root of symptoms that cause eczema, which is a rash that is usually manifested in flexor areas, so areas where you're bending or flexing, or areas that tend to get warm or hot. The root of those symptoms are usually some sort of histamine reaction that the body has. So basically some sort of allergic trigger or hypersensitivity reaction brings about those things. So it's not surprising that when people usually have one of those symptoms, a lot of times they have one of the others as well. And in terms of prevention, it's going to be important to avoid specific triggers. So, you know, a lot of times you talk about going outside, there's no way you can get around pollen and things like that, especially in St. Louis. But in your home, there's ways that you can get around different allergens and dust mites and things of the sort. And so washing sheets regularly in warm water, you know, for people that have really bad allergies, making sure that you use allergy-free coverings on your bedding in your bedroom, minimizing the carpet in your home, which is, and that's kind of a trend anyway. A lot of people doing hardwood floors and things like that. And those things are awesome for people that have really bad allergies. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That is very good information and very useful information, especially for, as you said, for us St. Louisans who suffer from a very extended allergen season. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, now we are going to check in on Chef E, and when we get back from the break, we are going to be talking to Brent Shulman of the St. Louis Sports Commission. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more St. Louis Presents.
Experience St. Louis.
So I asked my uncle, what's a special interest? He says they run Washington. He said there are groups of special interest in getting bills through Congress or the State House. So I said, I'm a Boy Scout, and our supporters help make a difference by educating elected officials on issues. Does that make me a special interest too? I guess my uncle thinks the Boy Scouts are helping to run Washington. Am I missing something?
Learn more about American democracy by logging on to representativedemocracy.org.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown. Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
You know, if you can't stand the heat, then they say get out of the kitchen. But we can stand the heat. And I'm with the man who brings the heat. Who brings the food. Chef E in the house from Arch. You hungry?
Absolutely.
Chef, man, what you? First off, thanks for coming on the show.
Good, good to have you, man.
I know you
Thank you for having me on your show.
No, man, we're privileged that you are here.
Privileged.
You know what? I can't even talk right now because I'm so hungry right now. That's what it is.
Listen, you know, they say the most important meal of the day is breakfast. I think the most important meal is the one you're going to have when you're hungry.
Yes.
You really shouldn't wait till you get hungry to
I'm all
eat,
for
though.
that.
You really shouldn't wait till you get hungry to eat.
Yeah, that's what they say.
You know, keep you some grapes or some vegetables or something, you know, fry some spinach or something. Keep you something that you can eat, you know what I'm saying? Because that's important.
But so you're making a breakfast for us,
Well, I'm
right?
going to make a little breakfast for you. We got some eggs and bacon and
I
fruit.
see. Everything
and some
looks,
caramel croissants,
everything
little
looks
hash
amazing right
browns,
now. And
we're going to throw some vegetables in there.
some veggies. You got to get your
We
daily
want,
supply of vegetables. Spinach.
Spinach. You like spinach?
Popeye, baby.
You know what
You
spinach
see these
is
guns,
good
right?
You know, you can take the juice from spinach, parade a little bit, put it in your lemonade.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we're going to toss you a little spinach.
Okay,
in
well,
there.
I'm going to let you do your thing. Let
What
the people
kind
know.
of omelet do you like?
Hey, I like veggie omelets.
Veggie? So what I'm going to do, you know, the key to making a good omelet is making sure that your eggs are probably at room temperature.
Okay.
Okay. And really, I should have put your peppers in there first. You like little mushrooms?
Sure.
Absolutely. We're going to hook right up in here.
Hook it up.
And what I do is I like to pre-saute things a little bit so it doesn't take too long. Now, the difference between an omelet and a scrambled egg is, see, an omelet, you're going to cook it till it's done on the heat. A scrambled egg, you won't do that. And what I like to do, I like to add my seasonings to my vegetables.
Okay.
Because the egg is going to suck it all up anyway. And
So
cook
what
them a
is that
little
right
bit.
there?
Well, this is a little Chef E basic seasoning. It's got a little garlic, a little onion, a little salt, a little pepper. And pepper has a lot of antioxidants in it. So you see, you might think you're using a lot of spinach, but it's going to cook way down. I've already beat your eggs. Add that on in there. And let it do what it do. All right, really, you don't need no fork. I'm just trying to show you people at home, because that's the, people want to play with their food, mess with their food. Leave your food alone. Let it sit in the skillet, do what it's supposed to do. In the meantime, I'm going to warm up some of these taters here.
Taters?
Yeah. And
You got to say it with a little southern drawl when you say taters.
I ain't never been to South. I ain't never been to South.
You never been to the
Never
South?
been down to the South.
Never?
Never.
You got to go down to the South.
I'm right around here. Depends on how far north you go. We right there.
Right there?
Right there. We're going to get
Okay.
the loonies up in here.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Now,
anyway.
Now people going to get mad at us making fun of their draws. Okay,
Well, anyway, when you're making a potato, and if you've ever watched Chef E on television, I wanted to let you know that I believe that you should never, ever boil a potato. Bake it.
Bake it.
You can bake it ahead of time. Put it in the refrigerator, okay?
Mhm.
But also, a rule about a potato, in my personal and professional opinion, is that when you have a potato, buy it the day you're going to use it, or at least one day before, okay? Because if you don't, potato is like meat. People think you can keep potato all day and start growing. That potato ain't worth having. I'm saying you don't want no potato growing. Right, I got your omelet over here. I'm getting ready to toss it.
Okay. Let me move back.
Where you go?
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not gonna mess up your velvet.
Oh. Hey, you know, I'm trying to be GQ like you.
Oh!
You know? Oh, there you go.
I kind of trip. That's all right. You like cheese?
Yeah,
Please.
I'm good with cheese.
You good with cheese?
Please.
Add your cheese on in there in a couple minutes. You can take it off the heat and let it sit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover that, take it off the heat because I don't want to scorch it. That way your egg is nice and fluffy and light when you when you get ready to serve it up. Hand me one of them plates. No, why don't you grab one of them caramel croissants over there?
Oh man, this.
Put one on your plate because you're gonna eat it.
Put one on my plate. Okay, I don't wanna.
That's okay. You're gonna eat it.
That's
you
right,
wanna use
right.
it? You wanna use the tongs?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. You know.
Here, get here.
Some home training, you know.
That's okay. I like somebody with home training.
Thank you. But
grab your silverware.
Okay, thank you.
Don't
you got,
be nervous.
you know, hooked it up with the little kiwi on the side.
You need some balance. You got your protein in your egg, and if you don't like pork bacon or whatever, you can call Chef E. I make my own chicken bacon, but you let me know.
Chicken bacon?
Yeah, I make chicken bacon.
How about that?
If you look online, you can see how the only thing bacon is, it's just a cured meat with salts and sugar and air. Mm-hmm. And the various flavors. Sometimes they'll smoke it or whatever, but that's all it is. I got you. And so we got a few minutes here. What I'm gonna do is while your egg cheese is still melting and cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and plate that up.
That smells good. That smells good.
You don't need a whole lot. Get you another piece of fruit, add some flavor on there like that. Make sure you get some fruit in you. The first thing I do in the morning when I get up, after I brush my teeth, get that, Miss Meal taste out your mouth, is eat a banana, drink some water, rehydrate yourself. Drink some water. Get in the habit of drinking water. And if you just don't like plain water, eat some fruit with it and just wash it down. Get a cookie, get a muffin, get a donut. Eat, but drink some water. Rehydrate yourself. I'm
Get
telling
fresh
you.
and fruity.
Well, I don't know about all that fruity, man. Rob,
Fruity as in getting
Oh, okay.
your fruit,
I ain't got nothing against fruit.
Supplements of fruit.
I just don't want to be one.
I got you. You know what I'm talking about.
Look at that. No, I don't. No.
He got jokes. He's got jokes.
There you go, man. It's light and fluffy. And you want more seasoning or whatever you have it. And it's nice and it's healthy and it look good.
Man, you have to get up on this. Get up on this close right here. Check this out right here. Check out this plate.
Now, I'm gonna give you guys a basic recipe for some simple caramel. Caramel is nothing but melted sugar. And you don't really have to add anything to the skillet. Just add your sugar in there. Now, if you want to use a little cream, you can. You want to use a little water. You want to keep it vegan, a little agave nectar, some kind of moisturizer. But if you cook sugar over a low heat, it will turn into a liquid. And then you take a piece of parchment paper, you can make some designs with it. I ain't gonna give you too many secrets because I'm not putting myself out of business. I want y'all to know that I do from 2 to 2 many. The food's always good and there's always plenty. And when you think of St. Louis, aren't you hungry?
Yeah, look at you. You got it all down.
Well, that's what I do.
That's what you do.
That's what I do,
Hey.
And then we're going to get that little, your little friend, your little host friend over there.
April? No, I don't think April should come in this shot.
You don't
right
think
here,
April
'cause
come
I'm
in
gonna eat
this shot?
first, and then I'll decide if April can come on in.
Now,
Not just yet. Not just yet. But
Now
I know
make
she can't wait.
sure when you're cooking your caramel, if I add a little Chef E tip here, see like that? You see what that's doing there?
Yeah.
That means it's too hot. You want it to flow, so you got to take it off the heat and just keep stirring it. It's one of those things you got a baby, and I know y'all don't want to do that every morning, so just give Chef E a call. I'll come in there and cook it up for you.
Wow, how about that? Well, you know what, Chef? I'm gonna start trying to.
Don't act shy, man. Take that plate to you.
I'm gonna bring
Move
this
Precious
plate.
on out your way.
Oh, wow,
Folks that
Precious.
know me, don't mess with Precious.
He got a knife called Precious.
And
he got another knife. What you call it?
Kitty.
Oh wow, this is no,
Look at
this
that
is
cat.
no joke right here. Look at this. Look at
Yeah,
this.
that's the
This
chef's knife.
This is some Game of Thrones knife, but that's the chef knife.
Right. You know, she never handled another man's knife.
I'm
Might
sorry.
be a murder weapon.
That's you know what? Let me wipe down the prints.
Don't worry
real
about
quick.
it. It's on TV. It's live. He
Okay.
caught. He did it, y'all.
Okay, but let me try this omelet real quick. This veggie omelet. Here we go. It's fire.
It's fire. You want some more cheese?
No, I'm good. That's
You
good.
good?
You know what? I don't know if I should even let her in the shot. I'm selfish. But come on over here, April. You can.
She gonna make the plate look good.
Oh, is she?
Here she comes.
Yeah, you didn't think y'all were gonna make all this food and leave me out of it.
Yeah,
did you?
actually we did.
Yeah,
Here,
well,
you gotta
that's
try
just
some
not
of this.
even right.
Try some of
That's
this
just-
omelet.
That's just wrong.
This is really
But she like a little spice in hers.
I do.
Now,
but,
I want to
you know,
ask you something. Did you think that you needed any salt or pepper or anything?
No, not at all.
See, the thing of it is when you're cooking your food, you want to kind of season it so that it has flavor incorporated.
Yes.
You don't want the flavor just to be on top. You can get a piece of chicken, the skin
Right.
tastes good, but the meat tastes bad. No, you want the flavor all the way through. That's why you add your seasonings to the skillet. So when the egg gets in there and incorporate, not to the egg, because you're gonna miss part of the egg.
Hey, tell folks who don't know much where they can find you and online and get phone number and everything like that.
Well, you can look me up at Arch You Hungry. It's one word, ARCHYOUHUNGRY.com, or you can like me on Facebook. I do give away a free dinner for two every month at my private dining facility. You can't just walk in it. It's private and reservations only. Or you can just look at me, Google me as Chef E, and I'll come out, I'll cook dinner for two to 2 many. We've done events as small as 2, as large as 8,500. So when you want something special and you want it right, Chef E and Arch You Hungry.
Oh, look at that. That brother is smooth. This is a smooth cat right here.
I just love what I do, and I do what I love.
Oh, you just do what you can do whenever you can do it.
You make my mouth dance.
Oh, it's a party going on up in the
party going on.
Let's get on now.
Look at that. All right, we're having a little too much fun talking about pallets. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by the St. Louis Sports Commission, Brent Shulman. So stay with us right here on St. Louis Presents.
You promised me the world. Is this what you had in mind?
Every choice we make has a consequence. Help EarthShare and its members restore balance to the world. Visit earthshare.org and see what you can do. EarthShare, one environment, one simple way to care for it.
In times of peace and times of war, in times of joy and times of pain, we need them, they need us, and we need you, the USO, until everyone comes home.
There's a monster in the kitchen.
Keep innocent things from triggering an asthma attack. Learn how to stop their asthma attacks at noattacks.org.
Monsters can be anywhere.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Jose and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
St. Louis Presents. Aprille Trupiano, your co-host, and Rob Desir, your other co-host. How was that? That omelet was dang good.
That was delicious. It was really good.
It was yummy.
Really good.
It
really
was good.
Well, we got some good things coming up outside of food. We got events coming up, and joining us here from the St. Louis Sports Commission is Brent Shulman. Brent, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Got some exciting things going on this summer. I know you're excited about it. The Visa Gymnastic Championships are coming,
Absolutely. It's coming here June 7th through 10th at Chaffetz Arena. It's a tremendous event. We're going to see a lot of the people that are going to be on the team in London, competing in this event. It's the USA Gymnastics National Championships, the Visa Championships. And 3 weeks later is the Olympic trials. So basically, all the best men and women in gymnastics come here, compete. It's a 4-day event, and then they have to compete there. 3 weeks later in the Olympic trials, and then they select the Olympic team kind of from there.
Wow. So how did St. Louis get awarded this championship?
Rob, all the time we're kind of looking for different events here to bring to the St. Louis community, to bring economic impact, economic development. And we bid on the event. We had it 12 years ago here in St. Louis. It's changed so much since then, but basically we bid on the event and USA Gymnastics awarded us the opportunity.
There's a lot of events involved in that. It's not, you know, it's 4 days, but I mean, you actually got a lot of planned events. Tell us about some of those.
Absolutely. The biggest one's probably this event called Morning Fitness Under the Arch. We've been working with the Arch folks and Metro folks to kind of make that all work down there. It's going to be happening every morning, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
What happens there at Morning Fitness?
Basically, anyone's allowed to come out. Thursday's yoga, Friday is Zumba, and Saturday is boot camp.
How about that?
And so it's going to be led by an Olympian every day. Shannon Miller's leading yoga, which should be fantastic on Thursday. Different ones leading each day. And basically the general public's allowed to come out, kind of have this fitness event under the arch, and it's going to be a very neat opportunity for everybody.
That is cool.
That's really cool.
Yes, it's very cool. We saw something similar last year in St. Paul, but we kind of took it and we said we want to make it kind of a bigger deal, get the whole community involved, and we're really excited about the opportunity.
And obviously that event is free for Morning Fitness.
The event is free. You know, parking information is all on our website, which is STLsports.org. And all the other information about the other events is on our website as well.
You said, and then the other events, I mean, I know there's a part where you can do some painting.
Painting at Chaffetz, that's a really neat event where everyone's going to have the opportunity to either do a handstand or just dip their feet in paint and kind of all this canvas.
Dip your feet in paint.
Dip your feet in paint and either do a handstand or some kind of gymnastics move.
So cool.
And it's a really neat thing for everyone to do on this big canvas that's going to be kind of chopped up and kind of put in all the different parts of St. Louis.
So, and it's going to be one big wall, what's the word I'm looking for?
No, you're gonna it's not a mural. You're going to actually put it in pieces
exactly.
and have it as an installation throughout the city.
Exactly, and that's part of the kind of the opening ceremonies on Thursday the 7th. The other big thing on that day is we're going to be setting the world record for the longest balance beam. We have low balance beams that it's going to be about 80 feet long, and everyone's going to have the opportunity to kind of walk along it and decorate. All these,
trying to get the folks from Guinness to come?
Not Guinness. It's a little expensive to do that, but we're going to set the world record for that. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to do that.
Is that a part of Fan Fest?
That's part of the Fan Fest, which is the Visa Fan Fest, which is a couple times, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, kind of after the sessions, in between the sessions. So it's going to be a very good opportunity for the St. Louis community to be involved in that.
And there's stuff for the kids too, right?
There's many things for the kids. There's the fitness zone, USA Gymnastics fitness zone that's there. And lots of activities with Fan Fest, face painting and just very family-oriented activities, besides the competition going on.
So this is really a big deal. I mean, you guys have put a lot of planning into this.
It's a huge deal. It's a lot of planning. We've been planning this for well over a year now and working closely with USA Gymnastics and our partners at Chaffetz Arena to kind of put on this event and kind of all the surrounding activities as well.
Do you know exactly what events are going to be taking place as far as in the gymnastics? I mean, are we going to see like the normal events that we would see at the Olympics, like the rings and the balance beam and,
yes.
and the what else do they do?
The pommel horse for
the
men.
The pommel horse, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all the same events you'll see during the Olympics. Obviously, it's a little different for the men than it is for the women. But it's all the same events. It's very interesting, too, getting to watch it and seeing everything kind of going on at once. You're sitting there, you're watching somebody on the balance beam, and you hear all this cheering at the other end, and someone's on the rings, or, doing the floor exercise.
The floor, that's cool.
And that's
what is it with the string? The ribbon?
The ribbon, yes.
The ribbon, yeah.
Absolutely.
So they're based so some folks have a chance to see pretty much what they will see in London.
What you will see in London, having the opportunity right here in St. Louis to see kind of the top athletes in the country to do that. And it's going to be 5 men and 5 women that ultimately represent the U.S. on the Olympic team.
And how many gymnasts will be participating in this
event? There's hundreds of gymnasts from all around the country, both from kind of the collegiate programs, and there's several gymnasts too that train with a coach or a trainer in different parts of the country. They've either put college aside for now, kind of go back to that later, but it's definitely the top gymnasts.
Wow. So you guys are excited about this.
We're very excited about it. It's a 4-day event. There's 2 sessions each day, both for the junior and senior men, junior and senior women. And so it's very exciting.
So which part are you going to be playing? Are you going to be on the balance beam? Are you going to be Zumbaing?
Maybe I'll try out a little bit of everything. So.
Wow. Again, so tell folks where can they get tickets and where do they go information-wise?
Sure. All the information is on our website, which is STLsports.org. And then tickets, metrotix.com is the best place to do that. And there's also information on our website about group ticket discounts and kind of all the other festivities going on with the championships coming up.
Very cool.
And how much do tickets start out at?
They start at about $25 for a single session. They kind of range based on the popularity of the thing. So obviously, senior women's probably the most, exciting competition that everyone wants tickets for, but there's single session tickets, there's all session tickets, and kind of different packages with that as well. So.
Oh, cool, great. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Cool. Well, and I know you can't talk about this, but what we do want to take a poll is, basically we kind of got to mention.
We got a situation.
So we want you to go to our website, because we're taking a poll on the situation with the Rams, obviously, with them trying to get a new building in place. So we want to get your opinions. Do you think that the city should do what they have to do and keep the Rams in town and get a new stadium? So go to our website. And
it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/STL-TV. What do you think? Jinx.
Okay, you got me. Here's what I think.
I know you have an opinion.
While a lot of people love their football, it comes down to money. Football is a business, and if the taxpayers don't want to pay for a new stadium, hey, that's their opinion. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I do think that if you want to keep the people happy, if you want to keep them coming back, I mean, we got to keep our team. You got to do what it takes,
Well, those are our thoughts. So we want to get your thoughts. So go to our Facebook page and let us know. And next week we'll let you know the results of what you guys thought about it, and we'll bring it to you then. Okay. So that's gonna do it for this part of the show. But when we come back, we got to go back to the chef because I'm still hungry. So we're gonna eat, and maybe Brent's gonna get an omelet as well, right? You're gonna get to eat on. Okay. So stay with us. St. Louis Presents after the break.
There's a monster in my bathtub. There's one on the couch. There's a monster on my bed.
Keep innocent things from triggering an asthma attack.
Please make the monsters go away.
Learn how to stop their asthma attacks at noattacks.org.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
Packers, Vikings,
Red State, Blue State.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
But when we live united, we create real lasting change in the education, income, and health of our country. Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Sign up at liveunited.org.
When tragedy struck Indonesia and Haiti, the world responded. The famine, war, and drought affecting the Horn of Africa right now is larger than both these crises combined, and the world should be paying attention. Text a donation of $10, but do more than donate. Forward the facts to everyone you know. Forward from our site, forward on Facebook, and forward on Twitter. We are the relief.
Experience St. Louis.
Oh, welcome back. I was leaning back in my chair there. I was looking kind of lazy for a second, but I'm not lazy. I stay on my job. I stay on my job.
That's right.
Like Chef E. Chef E stays on his job.
Right.
Speaking of, look, the chef's cooking up something, making another omelet, because looking all good over there.
Because that one's mine. That one's mine. Because I had to take a bite of yours.
Okay, all right.
That one's mine.
All right. Well, speaking of staying on your job, Aprille
I
decided
put you to work.
Yeah, Aprille came up with this segment, what she wanted to do, but she threw me in the lion's den first. So tell folks your idea.
So my idea was to do this segment called A Day in the Life. Because why are you looking at me like that?
I said,
it was
yes,
fun.
All right, yeah.
It was
go
fun.
ahead. Tell
so
the
it's
folks.
about it's about actually getting out to some of the people in the community, some of the people in St. Louis, and really getting behind what a day in their life is like, right? To see what they do for work, see how it impacts the community, just kind of you know, dig in there.
Right, and what we wanted to focus on was pretty much what goes on within the community, you know, within the city. So the first job that we got to see in what a day in the life is the folks from the street division.
Yeah.
So we had an opportunity to see them, what goes into paving a road. And so I got the opportunity to talk to some folks there, and actually even
you got to ride
participated a little bit.
You
So
got to ride the big truck.
Just take a look at the day in the life of the street division here in the city of St. Louis.
Well, I get to work early, and I come out and get the machine ready. The crew comes in at their normal time, and the other guy, he sprays it and preps the street and closes off the streets. We put out cones, try to keep the people off as much as we can. But we don't really close down streets. If people want to pull in their driveway and do whatever, you could drive on the asphalt after the guy rolls it. He'll back up to here inside this hopper. And then these wheel locks that come in and grab his wheels so he can't get away. We don't want him to dump his load on the ground. And then it goes inside there and the chains turn and pulls it to the back. In the back, there's heaters set to get at the right temperature. And then they could adjust the flow of it how we want it to be, the pitch of the street. The crew that ate it up, that milling material, they eat up the surface and they could go as deep as they want. They eat it up and they haul it away, and then we sell it to Fred Weber usually. A lot of people when you drive by, I know this looks bad, but you may see a guy just standing there and you think, oh, he's standing there, government. No, no. That is his job until he gets to stand there until his job comes along.
It's a hot day. We'll make it work. It's good. It's a hot day when we make it.
A shovel man shovels. When he's done shoveling, a loop man loops. They both don't have to be working at the same time because you can't. One's got to get it to where he wants it to be. Like the guys on the back of the machine, they run the screws. It's set the level. They went to school for that, like I did. So when the machine stops, they get a break.
Okay, so all the asphalt is going in through here, and it's coming down here. And I'm gonna take this little gauge, this thermometer. You are not gonna believe this. 300, it was, hold on. You can't see it now, but it's 322 degrees. 322 degrees!
Your alderman takes the complaints from the people who live here. It's their decision. It's their money. It's taxpayers' money. But it's all because of the alderman got complaints or somebody along that line. We have our own people recommend to the alderman for whatever reason. But like a lot of you didn't see, it was a utility cuts, the gas, electric, communications. If they cut, they'll cut up. Then when a truck runs over, it flips up if there's bus traffic and stuff. A lot of it has to do with traffic. Like down there's Goodfellow. That's all different, involved in money too. Some of it's state money, some of it's federal money, some of it's city money.
See, slow down, Rob. If you take this.
Yes, awesome. Had a really good time. That was actually me paving the road, by the way.
I see that.
Flattening the road.
You did, and you know what? I want to say thank you for taking this on and showing a little love to our people in the streets division.
Thank you. Tax dollars at work. Oh, look what we got here. The chef with the rest of the food. Chef E in the house. Chef, man, hey.
What's up? What's up? Talk to me.
All this is scrumptious delicious. This is great. Again, before we get out of here, tell folks how they can find you, man.
It's easy to find me. All you got to do is look me up, Eric at Aren't You Hungry, or Chef E at Aren't You Hungry. That's ARCHYOUHUNGRY.com. Or like me on Facebook, where we do give a free dinner for two every month. So that's from 2 to 2 many, always good and always plenty. When you think of St. Louis, aren't you hungry?
How about that?
How about that?
That's smooth, brother.
You ready to dig in?
I'm ready to eat because I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat because I am hungry.
All right. Well, that wraps another episode of St. Louis Presents, and we'll see you next week.
Holla. We're going to have more.